BMO head coach Tom Matukewicz, the team coming off a home loss against Charleston Southern this past week. They're on the road this week. Gardner Webb will be the opponent. Coach, just some general thoughts about your team, and then we'll go to some questions.
Yeah, just start with giving credit to Charleston Southern. Gabe and his staff had his team ready to go and just really felt like he outcoached me. It's fun to coach against him and his program. I think they do a lot of good things. I think they play hard. I think they play physical. Ultimately, made a couple plays in the kicking game that was the difference. Got down so much in the first half, but it was great that our kids fought back, and now we know exactly what it is we got to get better at, and starts with us as coaches, and that's the plan this week.
Yeah, we just asked Coach Gardenia about that too. You are down 23 at halftime. So what's the plan in the second half? Because then you came out and you scored 2 touchdowns and you were right there. And how did you think your team responded in that second half?
No, I think they did a great job responding. I think it's tough. That's not how anybody wanted to start. And so you just got to get out of the unproductive mindset. You're sitting there in a doom loop. You're reliving all those negative plays from the first half. And if you don't flush it and you're not where your feet are, you know, uh, you'll stay in it. And so I'm glad the team flushed it. The coaches flushed it, came out in the second half. Had a great takeaway. I think the second play, the second half, we got on the scoreboard and really started to come together and fight. Ultimately, our inability to run the football kind of led to the second half not being able to score enough points to win a football game.
Yeah, that was my next question. You all had 25 rush attempts. At some point when it's not working or the other team is doing something well, how do you know when it's time to should abandon this part of the game plan and let's throw in? And Jackson he threw the ball 49 times because of that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's too late to come up with a new plan. It's too late to fix fundamentals, and so you're just trying to win a game. But anytime you throw it 50 times, you're going to turn it over. You're going to have bad plays. You're going to be third and long. Just everything starts to go downhill. And so we need to come up with a better plan. One, number two is we need to get back to playing fundamental football and get our run game going. Ultimately you got to be balanced, and I'm thankful that, Jack's about every time he starts, he's over 250, which is hard to throw the ball. It really is, especially with him banged up a little bit. So we got to just pick up the run game, and then I think we'll be hard to defend.
And 10 different receivers again. I think that's probably a common theme when he's playing. There's a bunch of people you get mixed into the offense.
Yeah, we got good depth. Running backs are good. Tight ends are good. Obviously, our receivers have been playing well. And so he's able to put the ball where it needs to go based on what the defense is doing. He's not forcing things, he doesn't throw interceptions. And so, he's still young and he's continuing to grow, but I love how that looks right now.
So your opponent this week, Gardner Webb, they're coming off a game against Tennessee Tech, who you had played before that. They're really good at rushing the ball, but just what are your general thoughts about what you've seen from Gardner Webb?
Yeah, impressive on film. They want to run it. They know how to run it. They have the players to run it. And so, to stay in this game, we're going to have to defend the run well, try to get them in third and long, and see if we can create some takeaways and stuff like that. I think offensively, we're not even really worried about them defensively. We're just trying to worry about ourselves. We're trying to get back to fundamentals and our identity and all that stuff.
Is there, and I know you haven't used this as an excuse, but you said you have injuries. When you have to plug some people in, you talked about getting back to your identity and fundamentals. How hard is that? Even when you've lost key players, when people still get hurt, like what's the secret? How do you do that, I guess?
Well, you gotta get out of the pity party. One, it doesn't matter. Get better. So, you get into this game to coach. You get into this game to play. So, when there's an injury, there's a next man up. He's excited about playing. He's got to take advantage of that opportunity, but also coaching, we got to get him performing well. And so it should be fun. It should be fun for the next guy up. It should be fun for the coach to see if he can make that guy better than he is, which is what coaching is all about. And that's certainly what we've been trying to do.
And Gardner Webb's coach said this earlier, and he said, "Don't let one loss turn into two." You all were right there at the end. How did you not let the players turn a close loss into like being disappointed going into the next game?
Yeah, I mean, I will say that that's also important. I think ultimately it's about being resilient. It's about character. You can't let a loss change who you are as a man, who we are as a team. Like we're process driven. There's a standard to practice every day, and we got to just go back to work and repeat the process, but just a little bit better this week.
Well, Coach, appreciate your time as always. Best of luck this weekend on the road. We'll talk to you again this time next Tuesday.
Sounds good, Kyle.